Assalamualaikum and good day to Sir Ahmad Najmi and to all who are watching this video. I am Nur Ala Zafira binti Azman and my group members are Elisa Natra binti Karwa Anwar, Muhammad Arshad bin Nashrul Azam, and the last one is Shufi Amani bin Suhaimi. We are from J4 EM1104B and we would like to present about plastic garbage bag. Every year, humans consume more plastic bags than there are stars in our galaxy. If you laid each bag next to one another, in 1 hour there would be enough plastic bags to wrap around the world 7 times. What's incredible is a single plastic bag is used for up to 12 minutes, yet they can take thousands of years to break down. Why is human society so attracted to these unsustainable objects of comfort? How are we able to limit consumption trends where plastic bags are only used once? How can we make these bags out of environmentally friendly and sustainable materials? Well, to answer these questions, we need to start at the beginning. We need to understand what material plastic bags are made from and how exactly they are made. What are plastic bags made out of? The vast majority of plastic bags is made from an ever-present polymer substance known as polyethylene. This consists of long chains of ethylene monomers. Where do we get ethylene from? Well, from the ground. Although ethylene can actually be produced from renewable resources, it is predominantly obtained by either crude oil or natural gas. Once the ethylene is extracted, it is then treated to become the polymer. Thus, polyethylene is born. How are plastic bags made? Step 1. Extraction of crude oil and natural gas. The first step to making plastic bags is to extract the raw material. The raw material, polyethylene, can be sourced from either refined oil or cracked gas. Drilling wells, like the ones seen in the slide, are used to reach these hydrocarbons, which lie sometimes 5 to 10 miles below the Earth's surface. This process, known as fracking, injects a mixture of water and chemicals into rock formations to release the oil and gas. If any leaks occur, it presents severe implications for the environment and human health, such as cancer, birth defects, and liver damage. Once the raw oil and gas is extracted, it is transported through pipes to a refinery. At these refineries, petroleum is separated into different densities, allowing the right oil to be singled out for plastic production. Once the right oil has been singled out, it is then superheated and pressurized. This isolates the pure polyethylene chains, which can then be combined to form resin pellets of pure plastic. The type of product required determines the amount of heat and pressure applied to the oil. These fluctuating amounts of energy create different densities of plastic resin pellets. For example, if you would like a grocery bag made, you would need to create a high-density plastic. Other examples of products that use HDPE are bottle crates, milk jugs, and those outdoor plastic chairs you always see at the kids' birthday parties. Step 2. Plastic film extrusion. The process of plastic bag production looks pretty strange. Raw plastic pellets, known as nurdles, of different densities such as HDPE, LDPE, or LLDPE, are again superheated and pressurized to form a molten liquid, which air is then pumped into from below. This process turns into molten plastic into a balloon-like plastic film that passes through a tall vertical corridor. As this plastic bubble expands upward, it cools, coming into contact with many rollers that stretch and contort the plastic into thin film sheets. Several hundred meters of these sheets then roll onto 2 separate cylinders, which when completed can weigh up to 350 pounds, which is 160 kilograms each. These condensed rolls of plastic are then moved off to the printing department. Step 3 is the printing on the plastic bags. Most single-use plastic bags consist almost entirely of pure polyethylene molecules. However, the plastic bags you get at most shopping malls and supermarkets usually have some sort of color print on them. The process of printing on super-sensitive or light materials such as plastic bags is called flexographic printing. Depending on the dyes that are used, color printing on plastic bags can be toxic. This in itself poses health risks to marine animals once the plastic bag lands up in the ocean, which they eventually always do. Step 4. Completing the manufacturing process. Finally, the two printed sheets are then pressed together at the edges, effectively sealing the bag. The sealed plastic bag can then be cut to desired sizes depending on the commercial intent for the bag. At this stage in the process, manufacturers can implement custom designs on the bag. For example, they can add a section for easy tearing like the plastic bags you find at the fruit and vegetable sections of the grocery store. What are the safety procedures in this manufacturing process? No matter your occupation, workplace safety is vital. However, it is especially important in the manufacturing industry since you are dealing with heavy machinery. Therefore, taking safety precautions seriously and conducting safety training is extremely important for manufacturing jobs. First of all, please wear safety equipment and PPE. Wear the proper safety equipment when using equipment or cleaning up messes. Proper safety equipment can include hard hats, goggles, gloves, and any other equipment necessary for performing the job safely. The proper safety equipment is especially important when dealing with hazardous materials. When using dangerous chemicals, wear a mask and hazmat suit. If your workplace does not provide a hazmat suit or another type of garment to protect your clothing and skin, make sure to change out of the clothes you wore when using hazardous materials before you go home. Secondly, prevent objects from falling. Use protection such as nets, 2 boards, and 2 rails to ensure that items do not fall. Also, place heavy objects on lower shelves and stack boxes straight up and down. Always make sure that stacked objects are not in aisles or work areas. Furthermore, lifting objects properly is vital to avoid objects falling and to avoid injuring your back. When lifting an item, use your legs to lift and keep your back straight. Make sure to pick the object straight up and do not stoop or twist. When possible, use a machine to pick up the object such as a wheelbarrow or forklift. Forklift safety is especially vital when considering falling objects. When using a forklift to pick up items, make sure that no one is located in a spot where the item could fall. Furthermore, make sure the load is centered on the fork. Be aware that the higher the fork is raised, the more unstable it becomes and the more likely the load of the forklift will fall over. Lastly, please use and maintain equipment properly. The most prevalent cause of workplace injuries is misusing tools and machinery. Only use equipment for its intended purpose and make sure you use it properly. Furthermore, regularly cleaning and inspecting equipment lessens the likelihood of a fire, explosion, or other injuries. For instance, dust can cause an explosion if it catches on fire. To prevent dust accumulation, use industrial vacuums to clean machines where dust gathers. Also, make sure that when tools are not being used, they are stored in their assigned location. When storing tools, make sure they are put in their proper place and shut down properly. If a piece of equipment is not functioning correctly, report it immediately and do not use the machinery until it is repaired.
For next question is describe the advantages and disadvantages about the process of the plastic garbage bag. Today, I will present about the advantages of the process of plastic garbage bag. The main process or manufacturing process of the plastic garbage bag is extrusion. The advantages of extrusion is have a flexible of operation. Extrusion is that profile such as pipe can be made to any length. If the material is sufficiently flexible, pipe can be made at long length, even cooling on a reel. For the next advantages is high production volume. It is because it can make our ability to create very complex cross-section and to work material that are brittle. And also because In high volume production, 2 or 3 extrude can be used to push the polymers into the dies for both flat film and blown film application. Last, for the advantages is have many types of material used for the extrusion, which is plastic, that for the plastic garbage bag, which is plastic that used is the type of HDPE and LDPE. HDPE is a high density polyethylene and LDPE is low density polyethylene.
Okay, so for this video, I will talk on the disadvantage for plastic garbage bag process. Okay, so I have found out 2 disadvantages for this plastic garbage bag process. Okay, for the first one is the rolling with high temperature, and the second one, rolling process will make the product mechanical property are not as good. Okay, so that is the 2 disadvantage for this garbage bag process. So let's talk further for the first process. Okay, so for the first one is the rolling with high temperature. The disadvantage of the producing plastic garbage bag is that it is rolling with high temperature, produce iron oxide scale, so that the surface of the material is not smooth. The size of the product is not accurate. The mechanical properties are not as good. Okay, so for this ni, I have example. I don't. This is the plastic garbage bag also. Okay, so it also not color black only. It has many color. As you can see, every house use black color. But sometimes plastic garbage bag also have blue color, white color. Okay, it don't depend on the color. Okay, so let's imagine this is the plastic bag garbage. Okay, so for the first one, rolling with high temperature. Okay, the disadvantage, the size of the product is not accurate and the material is not as smooth. Okay, so okay, so as you can see here, when you see plastic garbage bag, okay, in the plastic, it has many plastic, right? Okay, so by that say, okay, so when you buy plastic garbage bag, okay, you don't buy one only. Okay, it has so many, like 100 pieces. Okay, so sometimes when the machine produce, okay, sometimes it not has this product is not accurate. So sometimes this is a big, and sometimes has the bigger one, which is more than 1 millimeter bigger or less 1 millimeter bigger. So this is caused by the rolling with high temperature. Okay, this is plastic. Okay, so when it goes to the high temperature, it will melt. Okay, so it will be more smaller. Okay, sometimes to 1 millimeter smaller or 2 millimeter smaller. Okay, plus and minus 1 or 2 millimeter. Okay, so that is the first process. Okay, let's go to the second process. So the second disadvantage is the producing plastic garbage bag is that the rolling process will make the product mechanical properties are not as good. This will affect the mechanical property of the raw sample, such as the ultimate tensile strength and yield strength. Okay, so what is this point? Okay, so as you can see here, okay, so the mechanical properties of the raw sample, such as ultimate tensile strength and yield strength. Okay, so as the plastic garbage bag, if you have buy many plastic garbage bag before, you have seen the different material used. Okay, a different type of the surface. Okay, sometimes it has the harder surface, soft surface. Okay, why this happen? Okay, when you see the soft surface like mine is soft surface. Okay, when you want to make it broke, okay, so it is easy. Okay, like that. Okay, I have broken my plastic. Okay. Okay, so that is the yield strength and the tensile strength are not as good. Okay, so this is caused by the rolling process that make the product mechanical property are not as good. Okay, this is the example. Okay, so that is the 2 disadvantage for the plastic garbage bag process. Okay, thank you.
I am Elisa Natra and I am going to talk about the possible defects in plastic extrusion process. Defect is any form of deviation of the product's characteristic from the specification set up by the manufacturing process. It can be caused by a single source or the cumulative effect of several factors, which may arise at any stage of the processing. Some of the common extrusion defects are overheating, moisture absorption, and poor mixing. Overheating may produce degradation of polymer material that is used or make dimensional control and sizing difficult, or may limit if takeoff cooling is limited. The solution for this is to really avoid overheating and make sure that the temperature we heat the polymer is safe and causes no degradation. And very accurate temperature control is needed for materials susceptible for degradation. Next, for moisture absorptions, many plastic materials absorb moisture. This moisture passes through the extruder and boils when the pressure is relieved at the die lips. A pattern of long bubbles and pits is the result. The maximum percentage of moisture in the granules for the production of groove extrudates varies from polymer to polymer, but in general should be kept below 0.1% as measured by water absorption in 24 hours. To avoid this, simply the material must be pre-dry. Last but not least, poor mixing. First barrel section or feed zone on the extruder is normally water-cooled with no heating present. Cooling is provided to prevent resin or additive from prematurely melting and sticking to the feed through. Over time, sticky or pre-melted material can agglomerate around the feed through opening, causing breach to block the feed opening. To solve this, the percentage of mixing addition, which is the resin material, must be exact and make sure there is no foreign material in the mixing. That is all from me.